What is going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. Got some big plans for the cave, and I wanted to go through them with you real quick. But before we get to that, did want to do a shout out to the sponsor of this video, which is the coldest water bottle. So I recently went to Las Vegas. If you saw, I went to their comic shop, and I had this bad boy with me the entire trip, and I loved it. They were giving out free water bottles at the expo I went to. It was a business trip, and this water bottle blows away all the competition. I'm sorry, but it is way better. It keeps the water colder way longer, 24 hours plus. The size, the premium feel, I love the grip handle, and it really is just the best water bottle I've had. So I freaking love it. And I'm very happy to sponsor them because I, took it on my trip and it worked wonderful. And I freaking love it. So I'm definitely going to be using that, anytime I travel, in my car, and everything. So if you guys are interested in purchasing the coldest water bottle, please use the code Flankster below to go ahead and purchase, get 10% off, as well as enter the channel giveaway. Anyways, let's get into it, folks. So I'm sure you all saw the Prime 1 showcase. They showed off a lot of amazing statues, some of which are definitely coming to the Flankster cave. One in particular, pending likeness, would be Ripley. I would absolutely love to put Ripley right there. If she fit, and based off the base size and how tall Ripley is, she definitely would. I feel like Ripley would fit so well in this corner next to all the life-size alien props. And heck, if I could move the Predator somehow there and do Dog there, God, that'd be even better. But Ripley would actually go fantastic next to Dog Alien. But I definitely would love to put at least Ripley in this collection, even more so than like a, XM Predator. I could move that, put Ripley there. Freaking would love to do that. I also love to get, obviously, Arnold's Dutch character in 1/3. Really hoping Prime 1 would make that, because that's definitely another character I would love to add to my Alien and Predator collection. So it's not just the creatures, but the main humans. Even though Dutch was only in one movie, he's still, to me, the main guy. I wish he was in more movies, to be honest. I'd love if they brought him back. But the main focal point is Lord of the Rings. So for me, Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy ever made. I absolutely love the movies. I did recently watch them, and I freaking love them. Every time I watch them, I get so excited. I freaking just love the grand, great adventure, the war battles, the creatures, the music, everything about it. They just flow so perfectly together. And I've developed, quite a Lord of the Rings collection. I've dedicated 4 bottom garage shelves, plus that over there, and the glass shelf. I have 14 1/4 scale statues and multiple creatures, 3, smaller Weta busts, the life-size bust. In addition, Prime 1 Sauron is on the way. It shipped 2 95-pound boxes, so super excited to get that. And for me, I'm all about having the best. I don't like settling for anything less than the best when it comes to statue collecting, because I find when I do settle for less, I regret it later on and end up, spending more money to get the better ones. So I definitely want the best. And Prime 1 is where it's at. I know Dark Side Collectibles, and I think even another company, announced the Lord of the Rings license. I've seen some concepts. Not interested. I want Prime 1. That is what interests me the most. And with them showing off Gimli, solidifying, it really was just the nail in the coffin for me to go all in. So I will be selling the majority of my sideshow pieces. Some of them I will keep until Prime 1 announces that character. For example, Morgul Lord, Saruman, Gandalf, as well as my 2 orcs. They have not announced those characters yet, so until they do, I will not sell them. I want to have those characters represented in my Lord of the Rings collection, so I will keep them until Prime 1 officially announces and shows it off. As soon as they do, I'll sell my sideshow, get Prime 1. And this has huge priority for me. I'm willing to sacrifice certain pieces to make space. In addition, I may have to consider even doing, not necessarily the Magic case. I don't want the Magic case. I'd either do like a small garage shelf a shorter garage shelf and do, like, for example, Prime 1 Frodo with my 2 orcs underneath and Prime 1 Sauron with Lurt's Bust above to free up that top shelf space for, let's say, Ghostface 1/3 and Jupe, companion to Jack, really, for me, but I couldn't display them together, but his Davy Jones, for example. Put Davy Jones where I have Lurtz, and probably move Red Sonja to the right and do Ghostface right there. That way I can have Lord of the Rings all right there and right here, having it sort of like a centerpiece to the room. I just want a smaller garage shelf. I like garage shelf because you can see through it, so I can still see the statues underneath. And I think that would work better than this. It also allows more light inside because it's more open. So I still am selling this Magic case if anyone's interested. I just don't have a way of shipping it, unfortunately. So you have to pick it up here in Utah. So if anyone is interested in a Magic case, I will sell it to you at a good rate. But ultimately, the end game of what I'm thinking, this is probably going to be one of the final lines I do collect, because I am going to go all in, outside of potentially Balrog, because I just don't know how I could display Balrog, to be honest. So that is the one I'm just like, oof. I mean, I know one potential way. I'd have to do a taller garage shelf middle room and just have Prime 1 Balrog inside. He would fit. And then do like Frodo and the 2 orcs right there. But ultimately, here's what I'm thinking. So we have 2 large garage shelves, and I can move that Balrog bust, plus a glass shelf. And ideally, I'd like to keep this all the monsters and creatures, but let's see what Prime 1 does, because they already showed up Boromir, which I will get, and I'm waiting on a few other key characters, and there's some I will get if they make them. So let's just say, for example, right here in this large, this is a 48-inch wide by 24-inch deep garage shelf. There's 32 inches in height space. I can do Gimli, Aragorn, Legolas. And I'd take up at least half of it, having Aragorn middle with Gimli on that side, Legolas on that side. And then I'm confident I could fit, probably if I wanted to, my sideshow Gandalf and Boromir. Gandalf or Saruman's at Boromir, where we have Berserker, and mostly just have all the good guys, basically. I do want to have Frodo separate, because he is separated from them pretty much the entire movie. So that, for example, is one scenario. And I definitely am going to do Aragorn middle with Gimli on that side, Legolas on that side, and then Boromir for sure. So at least those 4 together. Gandalf, if I can fit him. He is a small base, so if he doesn't fit, I can put him inside the glass shelf. On this garage shelf, next to Boromir will be Lurtz with the bow and arrow. So I want those 2 next to each other. And then in the back, we'll have the Nazgul with Berserker and Saruman. And I was even thinking of doing Saruman, where you see the Nazgul on horse right there, and then Gandalf the Grey inside the thing. So we have the 2 sideshows together. The rest is all Prime 1. And eventually, when Prime 1 announces Morgul Lord, because I'm sure they'll make it, I'll sell that one, get Prime 1. Because I do like a Morgul Lord right there. And then if they ever do orcs, I would sell the sideshow and do the Prime 1 orcs, and then would do Prime 1 Frodo. If they make Galadriel with perfect likeness and Elrond, I would buy those 2 as well, and likely want to display them with Saruman and Gandalf. I think that would be epic. The scene from The Hobbit when they were all together. Oh, so epic. So those are the characters I definitely want to buy. I'm not looking to get Merry, Pippin, Sam. I don't think they're, I didn't care for those characters much. Honestly, kind of annoying. So they're not a must-have. The only reason I would potentially consider them if they were made is to complete the Fellowship, having all 7. So if they made like the 3 additional hobbits together, I would consider it. But I don't even think they'll do Merry and Pippin in 1/4. Maybe a Sam. But yeah, the fact they made the Gimli, they have the Holy Trinity of Lord of the Rings, it is the nail in the coffin for me. So as much as I do love this sideshow, I do think it is a fantastic line. I love the matching bases. They're all fantastic. I would say Frodo and Galadriel are the 2 worst. The rest are absolutely phenomenal, especially for how old they are. And I actually like the mixed media. It adds a lot to realism for me. But Prime 1 at the end of the day is the far superior product for me. It will cost 3 to 4 times what I paid for this and or can sell this for. But when it's all said and done, 4 years from now, when I look at that collection, I'm going to be so happy I did it. So we're going to get it done. Now, the rate I'm going to be selling this Lord of the Rings is going to be dependent on when the characters are coming out, because I don't want to just see an empty shelf here for the next 4 years, and I don't need the money right now, because, for example, the Nazgul isn't going to ship for another 2 years, so why should I sell my horse when I don't need the money right now? So I plan to sell these as the characters do come out. You know, like when Edagon is, you know, getting ready to ship, let's say Prime 1 sent me shipping notice, and I have 3 months before it arrives, I'll list that up for sale. You know, same thing with pretty much all of them. So I'll sell them as Prime 1 is releasing. However, if anyone wants to buy the entire lot, when I say that, I mean Legolas, Edagon, Gandalf the White, Lurtz, Berserker, Galadriel, Frodo, Dark Rider of Mordor, Gollum. If you buy all those right now, I would sell them all right now. If I could sell the entire lot at one shot, I would. Just to save the hassle of having to find sellers for each of them individually. However, if no one wants to buy the entire lot, I'll sell them individually as Prime 1 releases, so I don't see empty shelves, because I would hate to see that. In addition, I'll sell Balrog. If anyone wants to buy Balrog, then I would just get the Prime 1 Balrog. Although I'm still just worrisome it won't fit, because it's so freaking big, but it's so cool. And I know it's absolutely amazing. So I definitely want it. It's just space is a big concern with that piece. It literally looks like it could take up an entire garage shelf. And I'm just like, oh goodness. So that one is definitely one I'm highly considering, but space is definitely a concern. So I'm not 100% sure on that one just yet. Although I'll still probably buy it, no one may. But yeah, that is the big plan. I definitely also want to get Gypsy Danger, as long as it's less than $2,000. I definitely want that piece. I am a huge fan of Pacific Rim, kaijus, big monsters. You know, I do have the Godzilla vs. Kong on pre-order, which I definitely want to get it. I definitely know I have space issues. And I'm trying to think, I mean, most likely what I'd have to do is move all that and do Godzilla vs. Kong with the 2 busts inside these 2 garage shelves, because I'm pretty confident I could fit them all. And I wouldn't mind displaying that Kong versus Skullcrawler with Pacific Rim. No. So I don't know if I'd sell these particular pieces. I'd just find a different place to put them and sell something else, because I really like, you know, I can't sell Medusa, don't have a box. Would never sell Mummy, would never sell Khaleesi. Kong vs. Skullcrawler, maybe. And as long as I have Medusa, I'll keep Perseus. But we'll see what the future, you know, beholds. My man cave is always evolving. I sell older pieces that I've enjoyed for many, many years and get newer and better ones that I'll enjoy for a very, very long time. You know, I've come to realize that Prime 1's 1/4 line, in my opinion, is just as good, if not better, than their 1/3 line for the most part. Some statues. For example, when I look at like Dante and Nero versus like my Justice League 1/3 or Suicide Squad 1/3, I think Dante is just as good as any of those 1/3s. Certain 1/3s have, you know, obviously not like Wonder Woman on horse, Aquaman. However, the standard ones, like the Justice League, they're very good statues, but Dante and Nero are just as good, just as detailed, better likeness, super elaborate bases with tons of switch outs, almost as much presence because they make them so freaking big. So, you know, I'm a huge fan of Prime 1's 1/4 line, and I think it is worth the asking price. You know, when they're asking $1,000 for Legolas, I think he'll be worth it. I think when you get him in hands, it's going to freaking blow your mind as much as $1,000 1/3 would. So I'm definitely on board for the 1/4. I'm glad they're doing 1/4 and not 1/3 Lord of the Rings, to be honest. I'd rather have the 1/4 versions where it's dynamic with, you know, tons of switch outs, and the way they've been doing the 1/4, I'm just super happy with. And I think, you know, this line is going to be one of their best lines. Especially for 1/4, it will be the best 1/4 line from Prime 1. And I'm trying to think of any other line they're doing in 1/4. I don't think anything will top Lord of the Rings. And I have quite a few of their lines, although it's always just like anywhere from 2 to 6 characters. This one, they're doing a lot, and they're all so fantastic. So I'm all in. I'll pretty much get every single Prime one 1/4. Balrog, maybe. I will be selling these sideshows, but not all of them right now, unless you would buy them all right now, the ones I mentioned. Otherwise, I'll sell them as Prime 1 releases. So when I get shipping notice for Lurtz or Berserker, I'll sell mine. So, yep, that is basically the plan, folks, what I wanted to tell you guys. So you're definitely going to be getting more Flankster for the next several years. Seems like getting out of statue collecting is almost nearly impossible unless you just unfollow the companies and, get off social media. So, because the moment they show something cool like that Gypsy Danger, I'm like, oh gosh, I love it. But if I sell older statues to fund new ones, and then use, other means to help fund the remainder of the statue, then it definitely will help me continue collecting. For example, when you guys use my affiliate links below, that will help me upgrade to Prime 1 Lord of the Rings line. So please use those links. It really does help. Please continue watching the channel, hitting the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm. The more views I get, the more money I make off YouTube, the more statues I get. So if you love Flankster content, you want to see more of it, use the affiliate links, like the video, share it with your friends, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's, develop, a world-class collection and just upgrade everything to the best of the best. Anyways, folks, that is it. I'm going to go ahead and watch Dune now. Just saw Free Guide, loved it. Need to watch Dune. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.